Hi, I just wanted to bring up this topic a little bit because um, I feel like a lot of people didn't understand when I was sick the emotional and psychological toll that it takes, and I felt alone a lot of times in this. So, if you're currently dealing with H. pylori or stomach issues, um, I understand. Um, it it was it totally messed with my brain, like when I had H pylori, um, tons of anxiety. um, I would just I would feel panicked whenever going out of the house, like, oh my gosh, am I going to be sick, am I going to have to come back home? um, like hanging out with friends was an ordeal because it's like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to leave? I didn't want to go. I wanted to drive myself everywhere because I wanted to um, be able to have the control to come home whenever I needed to come home. Um, I felt like I missed out on a lot of um, friendship time, and maybe that was because my friends weren't very good at some of this. I don't know, but people, at least in my community, everything's surrounded around food. Oh, let's go get coffee. Let's go get lunch. We're gonna go out to eat. Um, all this stuff. We do everything. Um, so much of my community um, met around food. And when it's like, oh, I actually can't drink coffee, I can't eat out with you, I can only eat like salmon and vegetables, I felt like a lot of my friends kind of dropped the ball on me because they didn't know how to connect to me without food. I mean, that's super sad, but I just wanted to let you know, like, if you're going through that, I went through it too, and it's totally depressing, and you feel isolated and you feel alone, and people don't really understand how hard it is when you can't eat anything, and the anxiety that comes in your mind. Like, I, telling some friends, like, hey, I actually don't, it's not that I can't hang out like 30 minutes away from my house to do this activity, it's just that um, like, what if I get sick? And a lot of times they didn't understand that. They didn't understand that at any moment I could feel super nauseated, or I could just start burping nonstop for an hour and have super pain because there's just a ton of gas in there from, H. pylori. Or they wouldn't understand that, yeah, I could eat before I leave and to hang out with you, and I could be hanging out with you, and all of a sudden my stomach just starts cramping up and very painful, and so they just didn't understand. They didn't get it, and just the anxiety that surrounds, oh my gosh, what, how am I going to? I would just hate going out because I'd always have the anxiety, even to the movies. I wanted to see this movie, like it was a limited edition movie or something, when they do those special events in movie theaters, and I, bought a ticket, but, like, at the show, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, even though I'd have food with me and medicine, just be, like, popping pills because you're just like, I don't want, Pepto-Bismol pills, but just thinking, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to leave, and just the anxiety associated with that. And so, if you're going through that, like, even now, it's not as bad, nowhere near as bad as when I did have H. pylori, but even now with some of my stomach issues, I get nervous. I like to be in control. I like to know that if I get sick, I can drive myself home. Especially because a lot of people, at least that I've seen, like, you tell them, oh, my stomach hurts, they just think, oh, your stomach hurts. Everyone's stomach ends up hurting. It's just it's not that serious, but it's like, no, you don't realize how bad my stomach hurts. And so I've found, at least in my community, a lot of people lacked compassion and understanding, and they didn't really understand how severe it was. And sometimes I try to, like, explain it, but it's just hard when you're not in someone's shoes. And I used to struggle myself with having compassion on people. So I would just be like, yeah, I mean, if you aren't feeling it, it's hard to, feel for people. But now I have no issues. Like, if someone has stomach issues, I'm right there. So, this has been a good journey for me, to grow as a person and to, understand people a little more and have more compassion and empathy. But, I just wanted to let you know, if you're going through anxiety or depression, because it sucks. You're going through physical pain, but I feel like you also somewhat become an outcast in society. I'm there with you. You're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that, are going through the same thing, and I think I read that H. pylori inhibits the absorption of B vitamins. And I think that has something to do with kind of the emotional reaction. Regardless, it sucks. And it caused me to have super anxiety, and it caused me to have some pretty low lows. And, yeah, so life, but you know what H. pylori taught me? It showed me what I valued most out of life. It showed me that, something that, what is worth it to me? What's worth the sacrifice to go out and put my anxiety to the side for, Like, for me, going to theme parks, that used to be, like, a highlight, that I would love, but, I don't really value it anymore. Not that theme parks aren't fun, but I was kind of like, that's not really worth it to me to, go through the stress for it. But, yeah, talking to a good friend about, life and being able to walk around with them, and that's worth it to me. I will, sacrifice, the scary feelings, and sacrifice myself and be willing to, step out. But yeah, like, I noticed that fun stuff, like fun events, and I just say theme parks because, I live around some theme parks, and, I can go for a couple hours and come home. It's not like an all-day event, but it's just not worth it anymore, or it wasn't at the time. And so it's like, oh, let's go do this fun thing. I just realized the things that I valued most in life, and a lot of it wasn't the fun stuff. Like, when I got H. pylori, I did not miss the fun stuff. I missed being with people. I missed being able to go to work without freaking out. I missed, just the simple things that we take for granted all the time, that when you get sick you can't do. I missed that. And so, I realized, life isn't all about, the fun and games. It's about these connections we make with people. And fun and games is awesome, but at least when I hit my lows, that's not what I was missing. And so coming out of being in such a dark place, I have a totally new perspective on what I value and what I cherish. And not that I was materialistic before, but like, things don't matter. Like, what is something in comparison to my health? Like, I saw on Facebook a photo thing where they're like, would you rather have this, or this? And one was like, free from debt from college, like $20 million, all this stuff, material stuff. And then one was like a good bill of health for the rest of your life. And I'm like, no, duh, health, And before I got sick, I don't think I would have said that. I would have been like, give me the 20 million, But, like, oh my gosh, like, my health affects everything, and just realizing that, wow, if I'm not healthy, like, not that that's the most important thing in life, but I need to take care of me, and health is just so important. And like, what does money matter? What does, a nice house or nice things, although they're wonderful, what does it matter in the end if you can't enjoy them or if you're not healthy? And so, again, I've walked out of it just like, okay, this is what matters in life, you know. My relationship with people, personally, my relationship with God, how I interact in the world, and it's the things that I can't possess physically that matter most. And I know that's like a super cheesy talk, you know, but I mean, although H. Pylori was a horrible illness, and I'm still battling with stomach struggles, it's taught me a lot. Don't go through this situation in your life without learning something about you, about the people around you, about how to take better care of yourself. Learn about your world, what you value. Don't suffer without coming out the other side with new perspectives and, you know, just a better outlook on life. And I mean, for some of you that only have to struggle for 2 weeks, I mean, maybe you could probably learn something too. But I mean, for me, this was like a 4-month plus journey. Maybe even more. 6-month. Yeah. Ooh, that's rough. 6-month journey with H. Pylori. And thank God I came out on the other side and have learned some stuff and have grown. And yeah, so I just wanted to encourage you, if you're, you know, I mean, feel free, you can always like leave a comment or something. I'd be happy to talk to you. I mean, my heart goes out because this H. pylori is a killer, not only on your body but on your relationships, on your mental health, on so much. It's just an overall smackdown. It is just, it's very hard. It is very hard, and you know, I understand your pain. And just having someone, I wish that I had, I mean, I watched a lot of YouTube videos when I had H. pylori, just like over and over and over again, you know, just looking for answers and looking for someone that understood. And so just hearing from someone that I've been through this too, it was very comforting to me. So I've been through it too, and you're going to make it, you know, you're going to come out the other side. And there are people who have been through this, and no one else supports you. I support you, and I hope, you know, you're going to, you know, be successful in your fight against H. pylori and against the effects of H. pylori, which is just as intense. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, and thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping updated with me. If you're one of those people that checks in and asks about my health, that's so sweet. And I melt every time someone's like, well, how are you doing now? You know, I know it like benefits you too, but I still find it sweet. So anyway, all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.